Hello, this is the Daily Forex Report for November 14th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This pair had a very large range, did pull up significantly, still closed down on Friday, but did pull back a significant amount prior to that close. We are looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 83.33, possibly as low as 81.18. Look for some resistance around 82.80. and look for some support around 81.50. Now the Euro USD pair closed up on Friday. It did have a run to the downside and then back up. Did close up, however. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 138.57, possibly as low as 135.02. Look for some resistance around 137.75 and look for some support around 135.70. Okay, now looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed up. It also had a decent range on Friday, did hold within the past couple of sessions ranges though. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 163.14, possibly as low as 159.11. Look for some resistance around 162.15 and look for some support around 159.75. Okay, now the US Swiss, this particular pair closed higher. It's been moving to the upside for a good while. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions in a row moving to the upside. It's rare to have it go that long, that many days in a row moving in one direction. Once you pass the 8 days in a row, the odds, or actually the probability rather, of the next day being up is very significant. The odds or the probability of it happening is very rare. It does happen, but it is rare. Now, this pair did gap at the open, has already filled that gap very quickly and currently still up. Look for it to potentially go as high and hit resistance at 0.9825, possibly moving down and hitting support at 0.9725. Okay, now as far as news analysis go, at 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday today, the Japanese are releasing their gross domestic product for the third quarter. Consensus on that is that it's moved up from 0.4% to 0.6%. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the U.S. advanced retail sales for October being released. It's showing an increase from 0.6% to 0.7%. Which would be good news for the US dollar. We also have tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time the Reserve Bank's board November minutes for the Australian dollar is being released. No real consensus on that. The news has already been released. This is just the minutes. Typically it doesn't really affect the market all that much. Okay, what are we looking for during this next session? Well, overall, let's take a look at the week time frame on the euro. Zoom out a little bit. We see that we've had this nice run to the downside, then it's moved higher. It has moved a strong move during this last week to the downside. Now, I don't know if it's going to move sideways from there. As you can see, this particular pair has been moving sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or so. Did have a strong move to the downside, unlike the previous weeks that had just strong moves up and down, but closed as far as the body fairly close. Now, if you take your Fibonacci retracement levels from down here at the bottom all the way up, you can see that we've broken the 23.6 level. And then if you put your Fibonacci fan on there, same area, same distance. There we go. Let's go ahead and zoom in. You can see that we have an area, and this is kind of the sweet spot that I like. I like to take the 23.6 and the 38.2, and then the 38.2 on the fan and the 50 on the fan, and look for basically a break of this line. This box that it makes is where I like to trade. So if the market comes down at this point, I will look to sell and then look for it to come down here to the 83.2 mark, and then at that point I'll go ahead and exit the trade. Now what that looks like from a pip standpoint, currently we're currently about 200 pips away from that mark. It would be about 139 pip move, so about a 339 total as far as range. You may think that's a little high, but remember last week our total range from high to low was about 515, so it's not uncommon to have this pair really move. So this is kind of what this is what I'm looking for with this next session, for it to drop down, and at that point go ahead and go short and look for it to move even lower. Interesting thing about this is you can get even a little bit more granular and potentially have better stop losses and better exits. Just depends on how low you can go. Here's dropping down to the 4-hour time frame. So one significant area you can see here, we have an area of resistance as well as previous support. Be a good place to put a stop loss, and I'd venture to say that's a lot better than looking for a different stop loss on the week time frame. You could also take this high as well. So as the market comes down, look to sell and then look to exit. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.